'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Welcome back, and you're watching Abled Differently. Lack of information on care and services for children with disabilities has led to the creation of Special Resource Hub. Take a look.
When there was no manual on how to take care of children with disabilities, Dr. Sylvia Akinsinku had to find ways to fill this gap.
Speaks is an organization that champions for mainstreaming of persons with neurodevelopmental disabilities. Our main focus is autism and other comorbid conditions, the other conditions that you find that exist with it. So that you have epilepsy, you have learning disabilities, you'll find kids with Down syndrome and autism, cerebral palsy and autism, and just the whole neurodevelopmental disability. I'm a mom of 3, and 2 of my kids on the spectrum, or autism spectrum disorder, and that is what was the spark and the inspiration to start Andy Speaks, because of the journey that I had raising the boys. Was not easy. There was no information, there was nothing. It was like discovering everything, as you go. I'm still learning, because now we're entering teenage and it's a whole new set of everything.
Having a lived experience of taking care of her 2 sons, she understands what looking for information to no avail can cause.
When you're starting, you're just based on what it is that you know. And as Andy Speaks is now 4 years, so we've been getting through the system for the past 4 years and discovering what's there, talking to other parents and other caregivers, experiencing their journeys, because we actually had a show called Neuro Digest, and we've held a lot of town hall meetings in different areas of, especially Nairobi, and we have the Ride for Autism, which we go to raise awareness around the country, and you get to see things and you get to experience a different angle and dimension of how things are going. And in that period of time when people get to know what we do, we've been having a lot of phone calls. We actually launched the Special Needs Info Hub back in when we started Andy Speaks in 2019. But you see, it was just information and it was basic. So over time and the experience that we had, now that's when we now upgraded it this year, and we decided, because I'm one person who has experience and the rest of my team are people who are just passionate about it. And you find that we get so many referrals and so many phone calls. Someone calling you from Mandera asking for a school, and I'm like, do I know even where that is in Mandera? Having to try and think and figure, I need a doctor in this place, I need a neurologist here, which doctor do I see? And you get into research and finding out and getting back to them, because if someone is looking up to you to give them information, because most people see that you've been there, done that, you understand, because it's something not many people understand, not many people can walk it with you, and that is what inspired it. Because if I'm one person and I'm a one-man call center, it becomes almost impossible to know everything.
Through Andy Speaks, she has been able to create awareness, and she hopes that this new platform will serve as a one-stop shop.
So I decided, how is it best for someone to get all information? And remember, some of the times it's someone who will flash me because they can't even afford to have airtime, and I'm the one who has to call them back and try and explain everything. So that's when I was like, okay, we can level up the Info Hub and upgrade it to Special Needs Resource Hub. So in the Resource Hub, we have the information section where we have information about neurodevelopmental disabilities. Autism is very complex. And most of us, the minute we get diagnosis, we run to Google. And Google can kill you, let me tell you. Dr. Google can run you mad with the diagnosis, because it's all about the child will not be able to do this. It feels like a death sentence, let me be honest. And it feels like your child can never move from there. So we wanted to get, and then there is also misinformation and misconceptions. So what we've done is we've siphoned and cleared out and put what is the actual fact. So it's a fact-based platform where we have references and gathered information real time, and we keep updating it even as things change. Like if you look at the last year, autism was 1 to 54. This year, CDC said it's 1 to 36. So you see, we are updating it to the latest information, anything that comes out. So that's the information. So we have details about autism, possible causes, because the first thing is like what happened. To just bash the myths about people saying, oh, cultural, or you did something to someone, or uchawi, you know, all those things. So to just get rid of those, we put out the different hypotheses. Like, these are the things that scientists are still looking, because at the moment nobody knows actually. It's just this one is researching on this. There is a percentile that is true and it's not yet proven 100%. So all that information is readily available for a parent. We've put in tips on how to manage some things, what to expect. We've put in about now cerebral palsy. Also, many people just hear cerebral palsy, but they don't know how many types of cerebral palsy.
The platform also caters for different types of disabilities.
So on the section we put, like, as a Down syndrome parent, it's different from an autism parent. The do's and the don'ts. Even it's also different from cerebral palsy, because they're different. You'll find in Down syndrome, you have to start checking the possible defects that come with Down syndrome. That is the heart, that is the thyroid function. You have to do eye checks, hearing checks, etc. While for autism, you see it's also a bit different. You have to keep watching the milestones. For CP, you have to also learn, can they feed? How well can they feed? What do I need to do with the food and how to do it?
To ensure credibility and accuracy in information given, proper vetting and research is done.
Look at the schools listing. We have the resource section, which has the school listings. We have the specialist listing that we're going to be doing and uploading slowly, because the thing is, we want verified, vetted professionals, because it's one of the challenges we've been having. So at the moment you'll find about government schools, because it's government. You have to have gone through the process. So the first ones we've had is government. So for the private, we're calling out, if for those ones who are private practice, you come forward, we have to vet you. We have to make sure you're registered, the facilities are there, because you don't also want malpractices and unqualified persons. You want to know the curriculum of that you're also teaching, because how you teach a Down syndrome child, the facilities for a cerebral palsy child in a school all are different. So, and is there other extra services in your school? Are you offering therapy? Are you offering speech? Are you offering physio within? You know, then we have a section for now, like these professionals, the ones who offer speech therapy. We've explained even, if you're talking about speech, we've broken down what is speech, what is language, the different types of languages. There is sign language, there is alternative methods of teaching a child how to, you know, also engage and blend in the community. So all this we've now packaged into this one website.
With the National Council for Persons with Disabilities as the government body mandated to take care of the welfare of persons with disabilities in Kenya, she hopes that she will be able to tap into like-minded organizations in other countries as well.
We have a section also for government. What do I get from government? Where do I get support? So we've listed for you the National Council, who they are, what they do, how to register, the process, the forms for applying for the benefits that are available at the national. So it's a quick link for all of these things. If it's social protection, if it is now others who have, let's say, education support sponsorships. So we've tried to put for you quick links in one place so that you don't have to go all over. So everything is just packaged in one. There is the option of just being listed as a supplier, or actually putting your product on our platform that someone can purchase it online, so that it's easier for them.
Dr. Akinsinko, however, admits that the platform is still work in progress as they are still updating it.
We're still working on it. The more we engage with professionals, the more we know what is out there and we'll put it in. The more we know what is available in Africa, we'll continue listing. As I started to mention, we've started with Kenya. We are going to move out. We have people in South Africa, Ethiopia, and Nigeria. Those are the first ones we will start. Because as Andy speaks, we've already partnered with other CBOs and organizations of persons with disabilities in those areas.
Let's take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Article 25 of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities states that state parties shall, Part B, provide those health services needed by persons with disabilities, specifically because of their disabilities, including early identification and intervention as appropriate, and services designed to minimize and prevent further disabilities, including among children and older persons.
And here is the tip for the day.
People assume that just because you can't move, you can't talk, there is nothing you can do. And I'm usually very proud of self-advocates who stand out and ensure that it is possible, because it encourages also caregivers.
That's where we come to the end of the show today, but be sure to join us every other Saturday when time and space allows. I've been your host, Jane Theory. Goodbye.
We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.